Good morning. So y'all, this is take 2 because I started take 1 and my mouth went somewhere and my mind was like, "Hold on, this is not what we discussed." So we're going to go with where my mouth went the first time. So, starting over, you don't know. So yeah, a whole different scripture and everything. But anyway, so I was scrolling on Facebook this morning, and for those of you who are on Facebook, you're familiar with the memories. So they bring up stuff that you posted this day, but so a couple years ago. And so the quote that popped up, it was by Mike Moore of Faith Chapel in Birmingham, Alabama. And it said, being spiritually mature requires the courage to be rare. So when you're mature, when you're secure in God, that makes you different. You don't blend in with the rest, you stand out. And that's what part of being holy or being sanctified is. It just means being separate, being set apart. And so Romans 12 verse 2 says, hold on. Be not I know it by heart. Be not conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, so that you can prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God. Yeah. We can't, in order to really be those living sacrifices unto God, like that Romans 12:1 says, it requires being transformed in our minds, having our hearts renewed, and really living a life of worship, just being poured out, being sold out to God. And yeah, that requires courage. So what I initially was going to talk about is Joshua chapter 1, and how God kept telling him to be bold, like be courageous, go in, take the land, lead the people. The thing about it is Joshua wasn't going somewhere that he hadn't already been. He had already been into Canaan. He had already saw that the land was good. He was one of the 12 spies that were sent in. Only him and Caleb gave a good report. They said the land is good. Yo, we can take it. We can do this. And everybody else is like, oh, we're like grasshoppers. And we're grasshoppers to them. Like, they're huge. They're giants. And so that delayed their entrance into the promised land. And so when God is saying, be bold, be courageous, I think he's saying have that same faith that you had before. When you said before that you can go in and take the land, you need to tap into that now. Know that I have called you to have this. I have promised this to your fathers. They didn't get it, but you're going to get it because you're bold, you're courageous, you have sight to see what I've spoken to you. You stand out. You're not like the rest. Your declaration did not blend in with the rest of those. But while they were saying, yo, we can't do this, they were allowing fear to overtake them. But you, sir, were courageous. And so to y'all who are listening, be bold, be courageous. Know that the promise is yours. You can step into it. However, it's going to require being different. You can't do what everybody else is doing and experience something that's totally different. Who is God calling you to be? What has God purposed you to do? Who are you? Who you are is a direct reflection of understanding whose you are. Do you know whose you are? Do you know who breathes the breath of life into you? Do you know? Because when you know that, when you understand that, when you are fully persuaded that you are loved, that gives you the strength, the courage, the foresight needed to move forward and to stand out. So yeah, be bold, be courageous, dare to be rare. Happy Wednesday.